marching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And good coverage there on special teams as he'll get him down shy of the 20.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Matter rising now on to punt this one away.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 23. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
And nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back.
And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. On play action, they'll throw. He'll buy some time right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. The first catch of the game for George Kittle.
It's going to be a nice pickup, but he also takes a pretty good lick at the end of that one.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. Able to push his way through. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Now they'll change things around before the snap.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Escaping, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Chase Young
in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack, but they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? It was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That's complete to McCaffrey. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 38-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
When you look at the Saints defense,
and they played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
And while teams don't like to talk about it, they're pretty proud of their rankings. But this ranking is going to be put to the test today because they're going up against a top 5 passing offense in this one.
Ayuk goes in motion.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
Brandon Ayuk.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the 49ers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Eluding the pressure right. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Down the left sideline.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A big play there.
His 2nd rushing touchdown of the year.
And the Saints are an extra point away from drawing level. Extra point attempt to follow here. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown On their last time out, looking to repeat that, Charles' defense, they were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 6. Well, looks like they'll move things around here. Second and 6.
Flushed out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Chase Young.
Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Third and 19.
And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Back to throw here.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Moving inside the 20. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll try to run this one in. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Saints have taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this third drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's kind of a tiebreaker, isn't it? I mean, that's the tough part for them and for him because, yeah, things went really well in that first one, not so well on the second one. He wants to get back to what he did to get this game going. Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to air one out. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
He'll get this underneath to McCaffrey.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at about the 14. A 46-yard punt, 40-yard return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
The Saints at 5-1 here in this early part of the season. And they coming off their very first loss of the season, suffered a week ago.
So now we can all take that chasing the 1972 Dolphins, take it and throw it right out the window, right? But let's face it, not many teams talk about that or even have interest in it. All they want to do right now is bounce back after that loss.
Now 2nd and 5.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
They'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. It'll go in the books as a sack and a loss of a yard. But more importantly, it leads to 4th down. He gets this away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy? I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll set up to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, this is a half for not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
The offense on third down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now back to throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Pulled in at the 24. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues. Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. It may sound cliche, but those are the types of yards he can get you. He's such a bruising back.
He is, and typically with that type of a back, if he has any type of stamina, it shows up later in the ball game. Because trust me, guys get tired of running up and trying to tackle that big fella. It wears on him, and then he gets stronger as the game goes on.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Slot man moves right.
He's going to handle it on the touch pass.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
This 2nd and 4.
They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year.
And the Saints have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-7. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Here's a give up the middle. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
They'll look to throw here. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
And how about the coverage here in the end zone? That's how you frustrate a quarterback. You get pressure on, and you take away all of his receivers, and he's got to throw it away on 3rd and goal.
And his kick is good. And they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed.
And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
49ers 7.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
First down, 49ers.
Back to throw now on first down. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
24
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the 3rd quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Back to throw again. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. George Kittle from 21 yards away.
And the 49ers are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
Here's a 2nd and 7.
Gets this complete to Shaheed.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They'll look to throw now on first down. That one complete to Hill. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that will bring up second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down.
From the 44-yard line, here's a second down and 6.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And some space here. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
104 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then, you take a big body.
And the ball is knocked out. Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves them with a third down at 8.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Credit the sack to Fred Warner. And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further.
So 3 points response there to the opening touchdown in his third quarter.
And that's an important 3, both in terms of adding to your lead, but also in letting the other guys know you're not going to just come out in the second half and take over.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. Second down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
From the 46-yard line, a second down and 6.
They're going to look to throw. That's to McCaffrey, complete. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That's a gain of 13 as they try to whittle away at this 13-point deficit. They'll set up a throw. This one caught by Kittle. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally. McCaffrey will get into the end zone for a 49er touchdown.
We're getting set up for what should be a great fourth quarter. This has been a hard-hitting game because both teams have punched and counterpunched equally well. And here's a good finish to this drive. A touchdown run here late in the third quarter.
Extra point forthcoming. And the lead will shrink to 6.
Makes the score Saints 27, 49ers 21.
The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touch. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner. And with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. 24 yards.
And the Niners have evened the ball game with a chance to take the lead here in the final minute of this third quarter.
That's a really good decision right there outside of the pocket. You've got to know the right time to shift from passer to runner. He was looking and looking. Nothing there. You can almost feel the brainwaves firing as he calculates. I think I can win a race to the pylon. And he turns out to be right. Touchdown.
The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. Oh, and some hitting going on now. This has been a tight game, and he takes a big shot there on the return. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game.
He's got a man complete.
And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 48 yards.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
They go play action here on first down. Touchdown! A great effort there. 34 yards.
And the Saints have answered back with a third-quarter touchdown of their own to retake the lead.
Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guy's covering, take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
Take over first and 10 at their own 23.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the fourth and final quarter.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw.
He'll get this out right here to McCaffrey.
Even with that broken tackle, can't go very far. Stops short of the 30. He'll drop to throw. Dancing to his left. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
They're not out of it yet, but in order to come back, they need to play clean football the rest of the way. He makes a correct read there, passing on challenging a blanket coverage and getting the first down with his legs instead.
A throw left side for Pearsall is complete.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Flushed out right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
From the 43, here's 2nd and 6.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
It's getting cold in here, partner, because it looks like he's trying to ice this one away. Yeah, I know, bad dad joke, but what the heck, right? Scrambling for that first after the D blanketed his receivers, that's a backbreaker for the defense. They finish this drive off with 6, and this one could be over.
The slot man in motion right. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And his kick here is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3.
So that's CD, an important one here in the fourth quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. A tougher task for them now. That turnover on their last possession led to the field goal, meaning that they have to now try to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. They'll drop to throw. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
3rd down and 1.
He'll look to throw.
He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And in a 2-score game, obviously every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
And the Saints are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, it would likely put an end to this thing.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
7 yards there and a first down.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down, a nice, consistent gain.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Escaping the pressure right.
Oh, a dangerous pass there, and it's intercepted. And the 49ers are going to get it back here just past the 35. Here's 1st and 10.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
And the Saints are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense. But they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And the 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Saints first down. It has been a struggle, but it's looking like that'll be the one to seal a victory for him.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle.
And he pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
He'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
The sound reverberating here in the dome. This is 3rd down.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. Oh, they're changing this at the line.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield.
And he'll be out right at the 35. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this is dropped in incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone, as time has run out on this ball game.
Well, this was a fun one today if you like points. A lot of them went on the board. Both offenses were clicking. Chelsea's defenses, meanwhile, had a little something to clean up before their next contest.
Yeah, neither end zone had a stop sign in it, did they? I mean, for both sides, visited and with frequency. Not fun to be a defensive player, but on the offensive side of the ball, those guys had a blast. One team came away with a victory, even better for them.
So for New Orleans, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they will try to get back in the swing of things